Hey, team. Welcome back to another episode of the Jenn Commandments podcast. I am your host, Jenn Wien. I'm an engineer currently working in Wisconsin. I grew up in the Chicagoland area and I went to college in Michigan. Today, we will be talking to someone who will always be very important to me, somebody that I look up to greatly. We'll be interviewing a therapist, lawyer, and current professor at Western Michigan University. She also happens to be my first therapist. Today, we'll be talking to Shacara Burrel. Yay!
Hey y'all. Hey.
Hey! Oh my God, I'm so excited that you're here.
You don't even know.
We were talking, oh my God, we were talking a little bit before we started. And I was saying that I met you, I think it was September of 2020, the very first time that I started therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a student at Western. And yeah, I don't know, you helped me. I went into
Okay, you about
therapy.
to be serious already. I
I
feel it. That
I
deep
am
breath
sort of
was
serious.
everything for me. It was like, all right, now I'm grounded. Let's go.
Yeah, sort of. I was like, okay, wait. Well, um, I don't know. I really had no idea going into going into college how much my childhood led it was going to lead into my adulthood like
Mm.
immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I was recommended therapy as an RA. Like my boss, my hall director was like, "I think you should try this thing." And it took me like a
Love
whole
it.
year, I think. Yeah. And like I don't know, it was just a good introduction. I got really lucky. Like you were my first therapist like with cuz you know how sometimes you have to like test through. I was
Absolutely.
lucky I like you were my first try with a therapist. I thought that was like awesome. And
Mm-hmm.
at the time, you were completely licensed everything, right? You're like
Mm-hmm.
that had been your full career at that point, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you grew up in Muskegon,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Where is that in the mitten? Is that like above
Are
Kalamazoo?
you kidding me right now? I'm a social worker. So it's below. It's below wherever
Okay,
Kalamazoo
okay.
is. So think Lake Michigan. Think
Okay.
like Holland, Grand Haven,
Hmm.
like Michigan Adventures.
Okay, got you. Got you.
We gotta do landmarks, but I love my city.
And so how young did you know that you wanted to do that? That was what you were going to do like, into college? Were you immediately decided or did you like, I don't know, take some time? How
Yeah.
did that go?
Yeah, so first of all, I want to say
Okay.
how absolutely honored I feel, right? For
Yeah,
us to
sorry, I just
still
started
be,
blabbing.
I know, that's okay, that's okay. We gonna roll this truck on back. We gonna roll it
Uh-huh.
back because you just sprinkle me with some flowers, and I do not take for granted the interactions that I have with any person.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Especially not people who are my clients, right?
Mhm.
And so it's always like so humbling, right? And it just fills my whole heart with pure love and gratitude to know that it was a great experience for you, it was a beneficial experience for you, and that
Absolutely.
we're still connected, you know what I mean, in a certain way. And so I love that.
Aw.
And I feel like I was really lucky to be your first because you didn't have a standard before you met me. So I was
True.
like, I got to do my thing because,
Yeah.
right? And so I think that
Mhm.
that's another beautiful thing about therapy is that it looks different with every practitioner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That clinician brings their personality and their style to the therapy. And it's so important to find somebody that is a good fit for you, right? That feels good, right? Because you have to work through so many difficult things that me feeling comfortable off the bat in terms of relatability, I don't have
Yeah.
time for that. Like, I'm done because I'm already probably doing that in my everyday life with people. And
Right.
so I want to say thank you. I appreciate you trusting me and giving it a try, and
Yeah.
coming back even when you was mad at me, or even when I
Yeah.
said something that you was like, well, I don't really know. But
Well, yeah.
you know
Well,
what I
that's
mean?
part of, like, I think for me too, is at least for me, finding a therapist is when I'm first trying them out, of I need to sort of figure out if I trust I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
trust their opinion,
Mm-hmm.
of like, even if I don't know if they're right, I need to be able to come back and talk through it after, or
Absolutely.
like, of okay, even of those things that maybe made me look in the mirror of like, oh, I didn't like that, I didn't like
Mm-hmm.
what I saw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Of like, well, okay, well, they showed me that, so they probably know some other things about it, and maybe how to
Mm-hmm.
help.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know that. So I don't know, it was so helpful for me to be someone who I felt like stood with me at like eye level too, and like the relatability, I guess, is what you said, was
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, well, I don't know, we're going through, I don't know, similar things, just like
Mm-hmm.
taking it there with me.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was so helpful. And I don't know, as somebody who's seeking help for the first time, it is scary. Eh,
Mm-hmm.
uh, if you're an adult, I feel like, I don't know, you're seeking it out for yourself, so you
Mm-hmm.
sort of want to be there.
Mm-hmm.
um but I can see how, I don't know, it would just be difficult otherwise, you know?
Yeah, right. But even right before you trusted me, you trusted in your supervisor or RA manager, right?
Yeah.
You had to lean into that, and it took you a whole year. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So sometimes leaning into what other people see in us and trusting how they handle what they see is really important to us, right? And
Yeah.
so I agree wholeheartedly with you that trust is a huge thing. And being able to sit with somebody, especially after trust been broken, right? We're not talking about,
Yeah.
normal situations and
Right.
circumstances. People come to therapy most of the time because they are hurting, right?
Right.
Somebody
Right.
betrayed their trust in a certain way.
Yeah.
And so to be able to then trust again, not only in the person, but what you know that they
Hmm.
know is a big deal.
Yeah.
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 So,
Okay.
w-
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't think I don't think I answered the part about how I got to social work. Do
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
want
Yeah.
me to
Yeah.
do you want me
Yeah,
to go there?
that's what I was gonna circle back to. I was gonna circle back to Muskegon a little bit. You said
Yeah.
a little bit about your hometown. Is
Yeah.
there anything that you wanted to expand on about there that you like? I don't know. My hometown is so near and dear to me. I like rides. So I don't know if anyone who knows me knows how hard I ride for my hometown, you know? So like, how do you I feel like everyone sort of feels that about, maybe it's transferred a little bit to Kalamazoo for you now, but like, how do you navigate how do you feel about all that? I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's a great question. It is complex because um right? The culture and environment that you are raised in, cultivated in, becomes a part of how you see yourself and how you see the world, and right, how you
Yeah.
show up in the world. And so
Yeah.
I agree to a certain degree that everybody has a hometown loyalty if you are able
Sure.
to establish some roots there, right? Because
Yep.
like it or not, for better or worse, right?
Correct.
It is
Correct.
it is
You
you.
cannot you cannot say it forever.
Whether you like
Yeah.
it or not, other people gonna call it out when they meet you too, right? So
Yeah.
everywhere I go, even in Kalamazoo, it's like, you ain't from here. Where you from? And it's
Yeah.
like, what do you mean? I've been here for almost 15 years.
Yeah. You
I
moved
left
fast.
Muskegon when I was 20, 21. I
Correct.
think I was 21.
I
But
know.
nonetheless, so I
That's amazing.
love my hometown. My family, their roots are really embedded in Muskegon. So
That's cool.
I'm talking about my father and his legacy, his father and his legacy. And so my dad is one of 12, so he's got 11 brothers and
Oh
sisters. All of
wow.
them were born and raised in Muskegon, to my knowledge. And so I got a really, really, really big family. A lot of my family is still in Muskegon. A lot of them have, gone off to other areas, but Muskegon is definitely our meeting ground still. You know what I mean?
Aw,
Where we
love
all kind
that.
of
Yeah,
come
yeah, yeah.
together. And
Yep.
so yeah, my mom is one of 7. And so her
I love it.
siblings, her brothers, kids, and all that stuff, like, right in Muskegon, from Muskegon. So a lot of my family is there. And
Mhm.
so a lot of my childhood is there, a lot of my memories
Yeah.
are there, a lot of my connections are there. So yeah, Muskegon means a lot to me.
Yeah.
Coming to Kalamazoo has been transformational in the fact that I didn't realize how much of Muskegon was in me until I got here.
That's yeah, I found that in Kalamazoo too.
It's like you got to get out of the environment to really
Yeah.
see the impact, right?
Yeah.
And so I
And
love that.
leaving my hometown made me both like it made me appreciate it so much more, I guess, where I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, this is like this is my family back home,"
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I don't know, it as much as I loved my time in college and spending time in Kalamazoo,
Mm-hmm.
leaving and coming like leaving out of that place again and then like sort of coming back to myself, I guess, my home, at least who I was at home, has been
Yeah.
cool over the last couple years, but there are times when I come like revisit Cal, I'm like, "Aw, like that was what a transformational, like you said, transformational time,"
Yeah,
you know.
it's nostalgia, right? We call it
Yeah.
nostalgia. It is.
Yeah.
I think I feel the same way too a little bit. Muskegon
Mhm.
has changed so much over the years
Sure.
that sometimes I feel disconnected from the place. Like I can go
Yeah.
there and be connected to family and the memories, but not
Mhm.
necessarily like the places and spaces.
I feel that. Yeah. Yeah.
So it
That's
kind
what
of
I
hit
love
me a little
Kalamazoo
different.
sometimes. Yeah.
It hit different.
Yeah. I understand. So, okay. Now social work, I guess.
If you really wanna.
Yeah, I do. No, I do. Um, did you know from a young age, like I was somebody who had no idea what I wanted to do,
Mhm,
like literally until I got to college, and I
mhm,
just sort of stumbled into what I ended up doing.
mhm.
How did you get into what you're doing today?
A really roundabout way, honestly,
Mhm.
actually. I knew so I got pregnant the summer of my senior after my senior year after I graduated. So I went into college at the CC level with my daughter. I
Cool.
still stayed on track,
Love.
started that next fall or whatever it was on time and all those things, but my goal was very narrow and specific. It was get your gen ads and do what you got to do and then
Right.
think about what it is that you wanted to do
Yeah.
or what career path you
Absolutely.
wanted to take.
Yeah.
And my situation was also a little bit different in the fact that I was already working. So I had a job
Right.
at 14 and I maintained that
Mm.
same job until I left Muskegon. So all the way until I was 21 or
I
22.
love that. I
It was
love that.
like,
I know a lot of
oh,
people who do that. Yeah. I know a
like
lot of
those
people who do
are
that.
family.
Yes.
Like shout
Yeah,
out to
you spent.
Benson's.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
No,
this.
love
It's
them.
this, and it's still there. I ride past every now and again, but like honestly, I got a lot of my key lessons and a lot of key um characteristic developments there. You know what I mean? And so it was
Yeah.
there that I knew that I had a question about why life impacts certain people differently. Like
Yeah.
it was like, well, why does this like crush this person? But then this person could go through the exact same situation and it doesn't crush them. Like that was my question. Now looking back, I always have had an issue with equity and equality, right? Because
Yeah.
it's about
Yeah.
I didn't always know
Absolutely.
that then, but I was just like,
Right.
man, like why? What is that? And so that question caused me to pursue my bachelor's degree in family studies because I wanted to understand families.
Yes. Well, and oh my goodness, yes. And family dynamics are probably one of my biggest special interests, you know?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Because you're a systems
um,
thinker, just like me.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't know. So so for you back then, was it because you wanted to understand your what you had felt as a child, or did was it for me, largely it was like how I had felt, but it was also because of the things that I was seeing around me.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, I don't know, growing up in an underfunded community,
Yep.
like namely,
Yep.
I wanted to understand, like, hey, how do how does, like, I don't know, socioeconomics,
Mm-hmm.
like, manifest in this way? Like, we talked about a little bit, not to talk about, like, one of the biggest things that I unpacked with you was understanding class consciousness. And I know that sounds crazy, but like, not
Didn't know
like,
it. I'm glad I could
well,
help you
like,
with that.
I had not really understood where I was in on the totem pole, I guess, before I had entered college. I didn't understand that people were wealthier than I was.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Because, like, I guess where I had grown up, relative to where I had grown up, I was middle class or whatever.
Yeah.
But I had no idea that, like, I grew up in an underfunded community. You know what I
Right.
mean? So, like, I guess, like, for you, what was the special? Was it like more psychology based? You wanted to understand, like, the human of it all, or was it like you? So I don't know how to ask the question very well, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I think I do. I think I do. And if I
Yeah,
don't answer it,
yeah.
restate
We'll
and
still
then we'll
talk
take
about it.
that journey.
Yeah.
Exactly. Um so, I think that's a really unique question that I've never had to really think about or answer before, if I'm being honest. And I was over here kind of muddling through my head to think about what was going on at the time, right?
Right.
So I'm 20 years old, my daughter is
Right.
2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm navigating systems,
Yeah.
right, as a single mom,
Of course.
right? And then I'm also living in subsidized housing, watching other families who
Work their ass off just like you do.
correct, correct, and some that don't. Let's keep it 100.
Sure.
Let's
Yeah,
let's
sure.
let's do the thing, right? It's always both sides.
There's
Come on
both sides.
now.
You're right. You're
You
right.
know? And I also have been working my ass off, right? Because I've
Since you
worked
were
since
14.
14. And not because I needed to. Let me make
Right.
that clear. Like
Sure.
my dad hated to give me the independence to want my own money, right? He was like,
Aw.
you don't need to go to work. I remember this conversation so vividly. Like he could not understand why I wanted that independence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or why I wanted to work and go to work.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
talking about faithfully went back to work every weekend. You know what I mean? Full summers,
Yeah,
full
I want to
time.
be there.
I'm
Yeah,
going
that's
to
my
work.
family.
I want my own money. I don't want to
Yeah,
ask you. I want to
I
go.
understand.
You know what I mean? And it wasn't that I was irresponsible. We were totally middle class, upper middle class, if I can say.
Hmm.
Food in the house, refrigerator, got, you know what I mean? I never was like a
Of
brandy
course,
kind of
right.
kid where I
Yeah.
needed name brand stuff or shoes. I
Yeah,
got my
no,
first
I
pair of tennis
gotcha.
shoes when I was 30.
Queen.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it wasn't about that. So at 20, I would have to say that my thinking had to be a combination of both
Of course. Yeah,
because
for me,
this
yeah.
experience sucks navigating these systems. Like Michigan Works, it was the time where I developed my beef with the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
Yeah.
That was my first time having beef with a system. Like, you
Yeah.
have got to be kidding me. You want me to actually want to do these things?
Right. Right.
Let's Okay. So now I'm understanding why such and such and such and such and this. And it started to make sense. And so I would have to say it was both my own personal experience of the inequity of it all. And then
Yeah.
also trying to understand how I can make it better or
Yeah.
help other people navigate it
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
And then it was family studies. Because I also knew that I did not want to do um case management work. So a bachelor's in social work,
Hmm.
you pushing papers and cases. Like I
Yeah.
knew that's what I did not want to do.
And you have such a high case, like, yeah. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
like shoot my eyes out.
It's a rough system. Yeah. It's bad. It's bad. Yeah.
And then so I knew that wasn't what I wanted to do at that level. And so family studies was the next best choice
Yeah.
to get what I needed.
Yeah. That's so cool. Love. Love. I wish, yeah. Love that. Okay. How has being a therapist helped you with your own growth? Is
Mm.
like the next like building on that, I guess.
I grow like my clients grow me more than I grow them, I feel, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh. So I'm a lifelong learner. I'm really a nerd in real life. Like,
Aw.
I almost
Cute.
do too much. Like, I almost do too much. Like, Shacara, put it down. It's okay. You did enough.
We
You
love that
came
for
here
you.
looking for that. Now let's go and keep going. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
that's totally the ADHD in me as well.
Me too.
But learning the information, period, transformed my own life
Yes.
because I believe in what I'm learning.
Yeah.
And so it was like along the way, I had a choice either to believe what I'm reading and look up and recognize it and see it, or ignore it.
Yeah. And okay, so this is just something that popped into my head. Do you have to tailor the way that you obviously this is probably yes, but do people really care more when you're therapizing them? Is it some people are more data driven
Yeah.
then they want to know that data, and then some people are more just like feelings people, they just want to sort of talk through,
Absolutely. Okay,
spill the tea.
so funny. Just today, like
Yeah.
literally just today, I had a session with a client who's been a long-term client.
Hmm.
And I was asking him a lot of questions.
Sure.
He was like, "What is going on with you today? What is this?
Hmm.
What do you like?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Why are you acting like that?" He was really triggered. You're not triggered.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
I'm just like, "Well, what do you mean?" Like, he's like, "I just feel uncomfortable. Like,
Oh,
you're
yeah,
asking me
yeah.
a lot of questions and you don't normally ask me a lot of
You're
questions.
poking the
Like,
bear. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
what are you trying to get me to do?" Right? Because you, um, anyway. And so,
I understand. Yeah, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because as a therapist, it's important for me to build relationship and build rapport with you, to meet you where you are, but also not to leave you there. And sometimes that means talking to you in a way that is different than you are used to hearing so that you can hear different,
Yeah.
right? And it's not like me changing or being a chameleon or anything, right? But it is just
Hmm.
speaking to a maybe different part of you
Yeah.
so that we can go a little bit deeper, right? And I can handle the pushback,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
right?
And
Because we built that relationship. Because now it's like, because really what it was he said, "You know me. Why are you asking me these questions? You already know these
right.
answers." Once we got to that part, I was like, "Oh, okay. So
I'm
now you feel
sorry.
like I'm trying to trick you?"
Yeah. Right. Well, yes. And that's like oh my gosh. I have left and came back to therapy sessions the next week to and not just you, but I have done it to you. But like and been like, I'm sorry for the way that I acted. And just like because you like it's good it and you need that's necessary, and like finally I had like that's the safe space to be acting like that though, you know what I mean, like better to act like that to your therapist than like literally anyone else.
Exactly. Like, try me. Try
Yeah,
me. Like,
yeah,
try me. Like,
yeah,
and you do right as a therapist, you use wisdom and,
sure,
skills approach, right? I wouldn't have did that uh month 3, right?
right, that's
That's
the
inappropriate. That
right
would have
attitude.
pushed,
Yeah,
you know what I mean, push someone away. Not to say that the goal is to appease your clients to get right. That's not the goal, right? The goal
yeah,
is to create a space where you feel seen and you
yeah,
feel heard.
Yeah.
right? And that
And
you
maybe
can build
it's a little sketchy too.
relationship. And right, even like
Yeah.
with parenting. So your kids try you
Yes.
first
Yes.
because you have a relationship. And so if
That's so funny.
we got a
That's a good point.
relationship,
Yeah.
try me. And it was quick. Like, what is going on? Like, whatever we was talking about or I was trying to talk about, he was not having it. He like, what's up with you?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Enough of this.
Like, why are you talking to me like that? What?
Good. Good.
Now I was like, I would
Oh,
love to answer all those questions, but can we process through this first? Right? Let's
that's
process
tough.
through what you're feeling right now.
Yeah.
Cause I see you, right?
Yeah.
And then at the end, it's like, and by the way, I know you don't like rapid fire questions because you feel questioned by people,
You're interrogated. Yeah. Yeah.
but you're safe here. So let's use the
Right.
skills, right? And so the goal is to um test your nervous system as frequently as possible in
Mm-hmm.
trusting and safe relationships.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Because those triggers are gonna come up regardless. Like
every day,
every like somebody's gonna interrogate you every day.
every day.
So I don't know. Maybe we better get used to it. I guess. Like.
Let's work through this. Let's work through
Yeah.
it. Because
Oh my
what
gosh.
are you gonna do in them moments?
Right.
Run away? Shut down?
Not be
Okay.
like, what's this? What are you doing?
But
And
I'm so
since you
glad you
are safe
decided to
enough to
show
do
up.
that,
Thank you.
yeah, yeah. I'll see you next week.
Cause also, right, it's like we mask a lot. And so the things that we are actually feeling, we internalize and then show up on the outside very different than what our experience is on the inside. And so another part of that is like, hey, thanks for showing up. Like
Yeah.
that
Your true,
uncomfortable side
authentic.
is okay. Like it's okay to be upset. It's okay to challenge people. It's
Yeah.
okay to not be comfortable. Right?
Yeah.
And let's hash it out and then let's be
Right.
okay.
Right. It's gonna be fun. Like we're gonna feel closer afterwards. It's gonna be good. Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah. Aw, no. And okay, the like counterpart to like how do you think being a therapist like helps your growth is like have you ever thought that it's hindered your growth in any way? Is there like ways that maybe you can't turn it off or that sort of stuff, because that's always been my biggest fear with entering such a like where your heart you have to show up to work with your heart every day. Like me as like I have a very logical role. Like I do not have to show up to with my heart to work, and therefore all of my heart gets to be put towards other things. So like how do you
Mm.
balance, you know what I mean? How do you
Hmm.
balance that, I guess? Does that make sense?
It does. I don't think that I do. I think that I just
Yeah.
I think that
I understand.
I think I think I just choose to like show up authentically as myself wholeheartedly in all my
Yeah.
spaces. Like
Yeah.
I've learned about capacity, right? I've
Yeah.
learned how to set
Absolutely.
boundaries. I've learned, right, how not to take on so much of my client's stress. I've learned the importance of self-care and you know what I mean? So like a
Hmm.
lot of those things help me to compartmentalize it
Hmm.
in a way that is helpful. Um but yeah, like you're gonna get the same energy from me in a therapy session that you would if I seen you at the festival in the park, so long as you give me permission for us to engage with each other, right? Because
Right.
confidentiality and consent, right?
Understood. Yeah.
But nah, Shakara, and I feel like it's so important for me to preserve that consistency
Hmm.
because it helps my capacity, right? Like imposter syndrome is a thing because I feel like I need to show up different in this space
Yes.
than who I am or something to that nature. And so doing a lot of my own internal work too
Yes.
has
I'm
helped
glad you brought that up.
to
Yeah.
to encourage a balance.
Yes.
Mhm.
I I'm glad that you brought that up. I think something that I struggled with a lot while I was in Kalamazoo or at Western specifically was I had felt the need to, like, I guess, code switch or whatever so
Mhm.
much of like it was
Mhm.
the first time I had been in a predominantly white space. So
Mhm.
um
Mhm.
I I didn't really I'm now out, well, I'm outside of that space, but then also I'm just so much more comfortable, I guess, now as an older person or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't feel the need to change those things about myself anymore. And
Mhm.
I found that people enjoy you showing up to your spaces authentically, like they can feel when you're feeling insecure about yourself and therefore acting different. Like
Yeah.
all of that reads.
Yeah,
So
dude.
like like, oh my god,
Like, yo,
girl,
you
just like,
showing up. Just chill
yeah,
out.
just have fun. I don't know, just
Yeah.
be there.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm glad that you brought that up.
Yeah.
So thank you.
But also, like, I feel like, you know, we have to kind of think about the developmental life stages, right? So
Mhm.
we're taught literally to appease other people's standards and expectations,
Yes.
right? Like, oh, I got an A. That was good. I need to
Yep.
do that. That's what good looks like. And so, um, you're just playing a role. Like
Yep.
figuring out what role do I need to play in order to be successful at attaining whatever this is, right?
Mhm.
And then you decide that you don't want to keep playing roles,
Right.
right? Like
Correct.
that's the conundrum that I feel like
Yes.
I have at 25. I'm like, yo, wait a minute.
Right.
I don't actually want to do that. Like,
Yeah. And I don't have
and I,
to actually.
and then I don't have to.
You realize you're like, "Oh, I didn't know before that I don't have to do anything I don't want to do."
Cause I thought that that was what I was supposed to do. That's what I
Mhm.
seen everybody else do. That's what I
Yeah.
was told. Blah 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 blah. No, you start to challenge those norms and differentiate yourself from,
Yeah.
right,
The pack or
the
whatever.
norm, or yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, or you start to challenge them because maybe you
Right.
don't separate yourself, but through your own sense of identity, right?
Yeah, you are separated or whatever.
It's like, wait a minute, let me think about this. Even if I still choose to do it, there's a conscious effort to think about it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, so my only other follow-up question as it relates to like therapy, I promise, is
Hey, let's do it. I can do it all day.
is is
I
there
miss your
ever
laugh.
thank you. I miss you too. I'm so glad that we're talking. Okay. um was there like a learning curve? Is there ever the only thing that I would be, this is sort of selfish. Do you ever have, you might not tell me even if you do, like clients or like champagne, you're like, ugh, champagne problems sort of, is there ever a moment where you're like, or do you like, are you taught in I don't know, I guess I've gotten over a lot of my resentment over the last like few years, but
Mhm.
I think starting off, if I would have started college or whatever as going into social work as like the angry kid 21 year old that I was,
Mhm.
um I don't know if I would have been a very good therapist at first. Like, did you
Hmm.
have like some sort of like, I don't know. Does that make sense?
Understand. So honestly, no,
Yeah. No. I have a
no,
second therapist I've asked this twice now, like, because I thought it was sort of a silly question. I asked
no,
my
it's
current
not.
therapist,
Yeah,
and I was like, "Do you like ever be like that stupid bitch with her problems today?"
no, no, I
And she was
don't.
like, "No," because
No,
that's their biggest problem today. That's what we're talking about,
exactly.
Yeah.
And everybody got problems. Like
Right.
it when you get down to it,
Yeah.
more money, same problems.
Correct.
Like you skin it, it's still the same underneath, and so it don't really matter.
Yeah. I agree.
And I feel like being a woman of color hasn't really afforded me the privilege to be judgmental or to carry bias.
Yeah. I okay. I guess a further question to that is, do you ever feel like anger, or have you ever felt like resentment of like maybe still feeling the burden of, I don't know, helping me, helping like, I'm still taking on your emotional labor to help you be better or whatever, you know? So,
Absolutely not.
yeah. I was just,
Cause come on, like,
I know.
like I am such a so one of my strengths is relationships.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I am totally a come let's do life together person.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Well, yeah, and like I don't know, it's just like important, like, have the conversation, and we're
Mhm.
all,
Mhm.
just because like we all need to help each other grow
Mhm.
and whatever. So yeah,
Do
I
you
mean,
get
whatever.
impatient? So like to be honest and transparent, like
Yeah.
yes, a person can become or have feelings of impatience towards
Mm-hmm.
an issue, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you still going through this? Like how many times do we have
Sure.
to right? But
Yeah.
I feel like I felt like that early in my therapy years
Mm-hmm.
where I became frustrated
Mm-hmm.
with a client maybe not being able to become successful or to overcome this,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So I can say that, but then reflecting, who do I think I am?
Well, right. That's what. Yeah. I
Like,
well,
really? What, Shakara? Like, no, that's just where they are.
that's part of, I think, just growing up too. As I've gotten older, I've been able to hold so much more grace for other people because I'm like, oh, bitch, you're still mad about the same shit that you've been mad about since you've been how old too. So
Yep.
like,
Here we go.
yeah, yeah.
So, yeah. And it's just like, well, maybe it's something else. So, and
Hmm.
then taking responsibility, I think, as a therapist, am I approaching this issue?
Hmm.
Is this even the issue? Right?
Yeah.
Because we could be talking about something or addressing something that is
Hmm.
not actually what it is, even though it's important, right?
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
perhaps there's something else. So
A
it's
part of it.
also
Sure.
not feeling the guilt and shame and taking responsibility for it.
Hmm.
That's kind of I'm kind
Yeah.
of
Well,
contradicting myself because I'm taking responsibility for the work that we're doing,
yeah.
but I'm not taking
Yes.
responsibility for the results or the outcome.
Yeah. Yes. I like I'm show like the it takes I'm 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 showing up to do the work, you
Yeah.
know? So as long as I'm showing up, you're like, well, okay.
Yeah. Because there's
Which
something
is very
there.
kind. Yeah.
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 And what I've noticed more often is that there is collateral work that's also being done or collateral
Mm, like
redevelopment that's
healing. Yeah.
happening
Hmm.
as a result. So yes, this issue is still here, but
Absolutely.
there are other things that are changing.
That's
So
allowing
let's
the
stay here.
heal.
Like what's the
Yeah.
big deal?
Yeah.
What's the big
Yeah.
deal?
Cool. Okay, so how soon into doing social work? We talked about like your first beef with the system, right? How soon into social work did you know that you were going to go to law school eventually?
Oh my gosh. I did not know. Like,
No.
no,
Oh my
that was
goodness.
not the plan. Like, absolutely
Really?
not. So, it was the orientation of the master's program.
Mhm.
There's a dean from Cooley who comes. Okay, so now let me preface. I do feel like it was divine though.
Of course.
That
Everything usually is to me.
it's a totally a setup, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So she comes to this orientation and she speaks about the interconnection between the law and social work.
Of
She's like
course.
our speaker for the thing.
Mhm.
While I'm sitting there, I actually think about my cousin who's a year younger than me, who's attending state at the time and is pre-law.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So,
So you're like, I'm gonna refer.
girl, and I'm telling you, at the break, I go out in the hallway, and the first person I call her, she doesn't answer the phone. I leave a voicemail. And then I call my dad, and I'm telling my dad about it because I'm like, this is dope. Like, I never really thought about it like that. Da 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 da. This is a cool program where there's an intersection, this, that, and the third. And my dad at the time says, well, Shacara, you don't need to do everything.
Yes, you do. Why not?
Oh, no, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do
Well,
this.
I know, but
Right? I'm like, no,
you just
dad.
assumed.
Well, lo and behold, here we are doing all the things.
Mm-hmm.
And so, long story short, that interaction, that small 20, 30-minute conversation, that was it. And it never just left my mind. I was just restless about it. And then learning that Western had a dual program, the MSWJD program, that's what the orientation was about. And so I was like, all right, Lord, give me
I'm gonna
peace
put it in
about
your
it.
hands. Yeah.
If this is what I'm supposed to do, give me peace about it because I don't understand why.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even want to do this.
Yeah.
Right? And that feeling of I don't want to do this, I carried that for at least the first year and a half of law school. Like, I don't even want to do this.
I'm doing this for shits and gigs, sort of. This is for fun. Yeah.
Man, what?
I think there's a lot of people who go to law school under that pretext. They just like happen to get in and they're like, well, I guess I'm gonna go. Like,
And I
which
had
is
to work
so,
hard to get in. Like,
yeah.
and I'm like, okay, I know that this is what the Lord is telling me to do.
Yeah.
And I also have to work tremendously hard to do something that I don't want to do.
Yeah. Yeah. So you felt called to do it, but were
Yep.
you sort of like you were resentful towards it the whole time, do you think?
Basically.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
There was some
That's
love
how I felt
though.
to, yeah, I sort of felt that way through my undergrad. So how did you come to terms with like this?
Start things I'm not gonna finish. So I'm
Of
really
course.
committed, right? And
Yeah.
so it's like, nah, we in it. Like this is where we are. We're gonna see it through. And I absolutely had peace about the fact that I was supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Right? Like your purpose, that my purpose was not up for debate. Like
Yeah.
my foundation in and of itself was solid because I knew I was supposed to do it.
Yeah.
That's just like I don't know. You know you got to do your chores, but you don't want to do it.
Yeah. Do you think it was maybe just confidence at the time, or did you know that you were supposed to be there while you were there? Did you feel it that you were supposed to be there?
Um,
You know,
you know,
because
cuz I didn't fit in. I did not fit in.
yes, that's what I mean.
I was a non-traditional
That's what
student.
I mean.
I did weekend and evening hours, small classes. I was like I couldn't do the works. I was working and doing therapy all through
The
law
academic,
school.
the academic world is not you, and you're the one that helped me learn that. That's not
Yep.
built for you to succeed in or
Nope.
to have any sort of, like
It ain't built
geez,
for us. They not
no,
like us.
no,
So I
no.
totally didn't fit in, but doing internal work and like learning how to heal that wound of I'm supposed to fit in,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or
Yes.
that there's something wrong because I don't fit in. So in law school I didn't fit in, but I was okay with the fact that I didn't fit in because I had did the work to accept that
Yeah.
you're not gonna fit in.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And being able to compartmentalize the fact that this was my life structure. This is what I needed to do at this level. I didn't feel like life was doing me a disservice. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't mad at the circumstances, even
It
though
was.
they were hard and they were
Yeah.
lonely and they were rough.
I remember that time period. I knew that you were my therapist, but I could tell you were going through it. I was like, my girl. I was like, oh, and not like, and not, and you never brought it to sessions, obviously, but like, I was like, you're in law school, you're a parent, like you're doing my sessions, like damn bitch.
Do you
But
need some therapy? Yes, I
yeah,
do.
like
Actually, I got
yeah.
some. Like, what's up
I knew
after
you
this?
were. I was just,
But to kind of circle back to your original question, right, of that
yes.
balance of carrying client loads and also because I'm growing through life too, right? Like life is happening to me too,
Yes.
right? I got childhood trauma too. I'm trying
Correct.
to regulate my
Correct.
nervous system too, right? And so
Correct.
it's also doing my work.
Mm-hmm. Which
Mhm.
is hard.
As fuck.
Okay, so what has your journey sort of looked like since then? I know, so did I don't think becoming balanced was right away, right? As soon
Mm-mm,
as you were done with law school, there was
mm-mm,
some sort of in between stuff happening, but
mhm.
I know that was some sort of subsequent that happened eventually. So what sort of happened in between, and then we can get into becoming balanced.
Yes. So finished law school. So during law school, I landed an internship at Legal Aid of Western Michigan.
Hmm.
So during that internship, um, I worked as a intern, but basically did full staff attorney work,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yep.
Then that turned into working over after the internship. I was offered a paralegal position at Legal Services of South Central Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
And so, which is right in Battle Creek. And then that was during COVID. So I was
Oh,
working and interning during COVID and was finishing law school and was working and was seeing
yep.
clients.
Yep.
Okay. So then that just rolled over to
Okay.
after graduation, I
Mm-hmm.
presume a full staff attorney's position. There's a rule in Michigan that you can practice under supervision as a full staffed attorney for at least a year after you graduate from law school.
Right.
So that's where I got my practice time in. So I worked over there in Battle Creek, where I was under the CV Lab program. That's where I did some domestic work, crimes, victims program.
Yeah.
I did a lot of elder abuse cases and some domestic cases. Um,
Can we talk about that for a second?
let's do it.
So, okay. So I have on here the domestic violence, your time as a domestic violence attorney.
Mhm.
I saw that was through Legal Aid of Western Michigan. Is that
Mhm.
right? So
Both.
is so that's a service through Western Michigan University, or are they different entities?
Those
Because
are
both of
different
them look
entities.
similar. Okay.
Yeah. So, Legal Aid of Western Michigan is a nonprofit organization, actually.
Ah, okay. Okay, okay.
And then Legal Services of South Central Michigan
Mhm.
is also a nonprofit organization, but they are like filtered through, it's like a tree, legal services.
Okay, okay.
So I
So like
worked
a
at
big,
two
that's like the
different
big one,
legal
like
agencies. They're
branches,
like
right?
sisters,
Yes,
but I
yes, yes,
did the
yes, yes.
same role.
Roll. Okay.
Exactly.
Oh, I can't even imagine working as domestic violence and
Mhm.
elder abuse. So for elder abuse, for example, is that not that like is that a lot of like is that like facility based stuff usually like against facilities, or how does that transpire usually?
So, legal services, they only handle civil cases or civil matters
Okay.
outside of family matters. So, like, parenting time, divorce, et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
most of the elder abuse or, think of it as elders being victimized. So there are a lot of different ways that an elder can be victimized, right? Like
Right.
land issues, somebody
Okay.
trying to squat in their home. There could be Medicaid issues.
Mhm.
There could be a case where a facility is trying to uh kick them out of the
Mhm.
nursing home, but they need to stay in the facility, and so you have
Yep.
to um fight for them to remain in the facility because they need to be in the facility. There could be
Yeah. I
garnishments,
was just
right?
wondering. I
Like,
was just like nosy, sort of. It
yeah,
was more like a
no,
nosy question.
no, but
Um,
it was a great first start. I love my supervisor, and how she strategically had me working on those specific areas of the law because I was
yeah.
able to use my social work skills
Hmm.
and apply like the basic areas of the law that I just learned. So it wasn't really as specific, but I was able to still use both of my skill sets.
That's cool. So okay, so for law school, circling back a little bit,
Yeah.
did you do like general law? How does that broken up? Like, do you just do? Is that normal for your program? Do you then have to do extra school to specialize? How does that all work?
Yeah, so when you go to law school, everybody takes all of the same classes. You have to learn, you get an introduction to all of the areas of the law. You
Okay, cool.
specialize in something after graduation, or if opt to do a subset, or you use your electives to get your certification, or you take some extra like sports medicine classes or something like that.
Right.
And then so you have this specialized knowledge through those classes. But everybody that goes to law school, you learn every area of the law, and then you
Gotcha.
you practice in the area that you like, that suits you best. Some
Right.
Mhm.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Mhm.
Okay. Now let's talk about becoming balanced.
Okay.
I want to hear about it.
Okay. Okay. So I worked at legal services. I went back to legal aid of Western Michigan because I didn't want to commute to Battle Creek anymore.
Hmm.
I was done with the drive back and forth. This was after COVID.
Understand. Yep.
And I still have and had great relationships with my supervisor. So it was really easy for me just to transfer over to legal aid of Western
Nice.
Michigan.
Yeah.
And then that is where I took the bar exam twice. So I took the bar exam a total of 3 times. I took it
Hmm.
the first time while I was working at Legal Services of South Central Michigan, and then twice at Legal Aid of Western Michigan.
Hmm.
Caveat to that, it was 3 different bar exams, if you will. There's a
Ooh.
lot going on
Yeah.
during in 21, 22 that
Yeah.
impacted the
Of
bar
course.
examination
COVID.
system.
Yeah.
It
Of
was
course.
insane. And so
Yeah.
unfortunately, I didn't successfully pass.
Hmm.
So, in the spirit of having relationships, a
Yeah.
professional in the field reached out to me and essentially told me that she created a job for me and a position for
Oh,
me to work in a leadership position to oversee housing programs in Kalamazoo.
very cool.
So I left legal aid knowing that I wasn't going to be able to practice law anymore, right? Because my
Hmm.
time had ran out. I hadn't passed the bar successfully. And I just could not bear the thought of going back to be like a legal intern or something like that, or a paralegal, because that's basically what happens.
Yeah.
Like you just
You
you
go
go to
back
the bottom,
up
right?
again.
There's
Yeah.
no middle
Retry
ground.
basically.
Yeah. And so your money changes, like everything kind of changes as a
Yeah.
result. And so anyway, transferred over there, stepped into the role in that leadership position, and that was primary social work because I was overseeing housing programs.
Hmm. That was at the YWCA,
That was at the
I believe.
YWCA.
Yeah.
Yes. So I worked there for 4 short months.
Hmm.
Environment was not giving what it needed to give in order for me to be okay.
I understand.
During that time, that transition between working at leaving legal aid of Western Michigan and going to the YWCA was when Becoming Balanced was birthed.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so that was sort of like a time that was maybe sort of unstable. I
Yep.
feel like that's when I really become my best self, honestly, or like my
Mhm.
best things happen.
Mhm.
Would you say that that's sort of how you feel about becoming balanced? It's like it's your thing. You can do whatever. Like it's your creative endeavor. So it's a in my opinion, it feels like a culmination of all the things that you've done so far.
Yeah.
And it's like yours. I don't know. I feel like
Yeah.
it's really I think it's really cool so far, at least from what I've seen. I don't know.
Yeah. I think I would have to agree with you and say
Yeah.
I was frustrated with systems because
Sure.
I
Yes.
was doing therapy, but I was
Mhm.
working private practice as a clinician. So I was doing a 60-40 split. And so I was frustrated with that. I had run into some clinicians who were acting in ways that was unethical to me. I didn't agree with it, right? Going
Mhm.
back to the beginning, there's something about equity, right? And
Equity.
equality for me, how it impacts a person's ability to be successful in life, to be well balanced. And so I was mad about that. I was mad about the bar exam because,
Mhm.
right, there's no way in the world. This doesn't make sense. It's not computing. And
Well,
then to do
and
the
you had
research
to
and find
ask.
out
Yeah.
that Michigan has this passage rate, and this is how they create their right, to know that there's a
Right.
systematic process behind the scenes,
Yeah. That's
right?
that. Do you want to speak on that a little bit?
What do you
I don't
mean?
know about that. I don't know. Like, so I don't know what you're referencing.
So,
So
I mean, it's a standardized test.
yeah. So does that mean okay? So do you mean that Michigan has like quotas that some people are not going to pass, no matter what?
No matter what,
Gotcha.
as
And
is.
is that typical of a bar, like a bar lawyer, MCAT, like anything like that? Is that typical of like lawyers, professional engineer tests, maybe like a medical? That's gotcha.
For
I
sure.
guess
Like,
I wasn't aware of that.
well,
That's why, yeah.
I mean,
That,
the way that I kind of think about it is lawyers are girded with the responsibility of protecting the law,
yes,
right? And so
yes,
anybody who has the opportunity to carry that much power and privilege
I agree.
needs to
Yeah,
be vetted, right? We need to make
yeah.
sure it's who we want, right? Like
Hmm.
you have to do a character and fitness test, right? You get
Yes,
into law school, but you also have somebody else, a group of people
yes.
need to go through your whole life history and determine whether or not you
Ah,
have the character and the fitness
I
to
see.
practice law, right? Like there are so many different kind of
So
points
it's
that you
not just
get
a
through.
test.
Oh
Sorry,
no, it's
I'm
not
so
just going to
uneducated.
school.
Sorry.
Absolutely not. To
Yeah.
be an attorney at law, right? So that's the
Mhm.
difference between the titles of lawyer and attorney at law, right?
Mhm.
Everybody has to go to law school. You have to successfully graduate,
Right.
right?
Yes.
You pass every class. I have to pass a C or better in every one of my classes that covers
Right.
every area of the law,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Then I have to do a professional exam they call the MPRE,
Mhm.
right? To show that I am professionally responsible.
Yeah.
And so you pass that.
What does that mean? What is that criteria? What do
There
they do? Do they look at
what does who
what do
do?
what do
That's
you
a
turn
test.
in?
You go
Oh, it's
and
a
you sit at a
test.
testing station and you
Gotcha.
have to pass.
It's a professionalism test.
Yeah.
What?
Yes. Absolutely. Yes. Are you professional? You haven't even gotten to the bar exam yet because you have to pass that first
Mm.
before you
And
can
that's
sit.
like is it like etiquette? Like what does that mean?
It's things like attorney client privilege, like
Oh, okay.
rules, right? How you
Okay, gotcha.
govern
Gotcha.
yourself.
Like confidential like I
Yep,
gotcha.
yep. So things like
Okay.
that, like
Okay.
how you establish your practice, what you
What's that
can and
like
can't do.
debutante ball type thing, you know? I was
The
like,
big
the fuck
fork
are you
and the
talking
little
about?
fork.
I was like, what?
No, but are you professional, right? Do you have
Yeah.
the professionalism? Because again, you're being girded with this power, this privilege, right? And you need to handle it responsibly. You need to handle it in the right way. And there are rules.
Yeah.
Do you understand what's expected of you? Because once they give it to you, it's really hard to take it away. That's the other part about it,
I
right?
see.
Because you'll be licensed. And they have to go through a lot of different steps, a lot of different factors for a really long time in order to take that privilege from you.
From you.
So the beginning part is so rigorous.
Right. Dang. Ugh.
Mhm.
That sounds like a lot.
Mhm.
Ugh.
I'm talking about, like, people have committed suicide over not passing the bar exam because it's so difficult. It requires so much
Yes.
of you. And it's a test. Like, we have so much research about standardized tests and how they
Yes.
actually don't
Don't.
reflect your knowledge and
Like
comprehension.
proficiency. Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah.
That's weird.
So I was
Crazy.
upset with systems, right? I was
Yes.
upset. I was upset. And it's like, what am I supposed to do with this now? Right? Where does this leave me? Because I'm not going to be practicing as an attorney advocating in this space anymore. And that was where, becoming balanced was the birth of all of those things, the culmination of all my experience, all the things I've learned, right? Like gaps even in the system that
Yes.
I felt like was an injustice, right? Like,
Yeah.
what are we going to do about this?
And so a follow up that I have in relation to you've worked in and out of the system now. Something that I battle with as like a early in my career, all of the activism or whatever that I've done, the work that I've done for the community has been outside of the system thus far.
Hmm.
Do you find success working within the system?
No.
It's so hard to it's not built for like it's
Yeah.
not built to advocate in a way that is true to what I don't know. I guess go on, sorry.
Yeah, no, I completely understand what I think you're trying to say. It's just
Yeah.
like there. Hmm. So the system is successful.
Yes.
It's successful, but it has not been successful. It does not meet all of our needs. There is a complete subset of individuals who do not experience success, right?
Correct.
And because it is so rigid, most of the systems, right, is black and white. There are so many rules. There's so much red tape. And that's what my struggle is that
Mhm.
that system is okay for who it is okay for. Where's the alternative? What about the individuals who need these same supports, but they can't navigate it in that way?
Right.
It doesn't meet their needs, right?
Yeah.
And we see the harm that is being caused by the same people and the same families being in and out of the system. If it's successful, why isn't it working?
Right.
Right? Healing creates the generational curse of
Yeah.
repeated cycles.
Yeah.
And so I'm I'm systemic in the way that I think about things, and then working in a system, I look at the system, and then at some point I figure out that that doesn't actually work, and I want to create change in a system so that we can meet people's needs, and that change doesn't fit.
Yeah.
And then now I feel like I'm forcing it.
Right. So become it. So in the spirit of becoming balanced, then also like circling back to that, how do you want this? Because I don't know, I have big dreams for what I would like to see the future of like my what I do within the community. Do you want becoming balanced to do you see big things like as it relates to working maybe not against the system but maybe alongside the system to I don't know community like that sort of stuff, community events, gathering people. That's always my big thing is like I whatever I do I want to people to join each other,
Yeah.
you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. Totally. Like,
Yeah.
take over. Like, I see there being practices across the globe, right? Because
Yeah.
what I'm trying to create impacts
Mhm.
community,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And I feel like what I'm trying to cultivate is something that's missing. So anytime
Yes.
you add something new, it's got to increase the flavor,
Yeah. Yes.
right? Like I'm not trying to eliminate no other ingredients.
No, never. Well, and that's never the goal. Like, you're never trying to take away the. That's another thing that I think is so hard for people who might benefit from the systems in place, is like the systems that might need to be added. I don't think will take away from your system.
Right.
I think your system's still going to be cool.
Right.
I think I think if we
People are
add
still
some
going to
new
go.
system, yeah, if we add some new systems, like I think we're going to be okay. Like,
Like it's enough
why
to go
not make it?
around.
Yes. More than enough,
Like people are hurting. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like
well,
for
and
me.
especially right now, I just saw like a article that was like, I don't know, something about credit scores going down, like the most that they've ever gone down since like the Great Recession or whatever. And I don't know, like, so that's what
It's
I mean,
tight.
like community time. It's like, so okay, you culminate legal service. How have you been able to like culminate all the things that you've done so far then, I guess?
Yeah. So therapy.
Hmm.
I see individuals and then I
Hmm.
see couples. Gottman
Yeah.
method. I'm
Cool.
certified with the Gottman method. And then I also provide a service for co-parenting support.
Oh, cool.
And I incorporate that under
That's
the
really
therapy
cool.
arm because depending on what insurance you have, you can
Yeah.
bill insurance and you make your co-parenting time.
That's cool. Like, cause so many like, cause like, why have parents been divorced for 15 years? Y'all don't got a system down.
What's up? Cause y'all not healed. Cause y'all still mad. Cause y'all
I got
still
something
mad.
cooking.
Cause y'all still mad. And
That's so
in a
cool.
real
Yeah.
way, I learned how the court system perpetuates that. How lawyers,
Hmm.
attorneys
Yeah.
perpetuate that disconnect, right? The opposition with each other, right? The fight over overnights and
Yeah.
money. And then it turns into the thing that it's not supposed to be about. And
Yeah.
so, in a lot of ways, again, creating a different approach. Like, let's sit down and still make it about the best interest of the child, even though we do not have a legal
Right.
definition for what's in the best interest of the child because it looks
Right.
different for everybody.
Correct.
But there
Correct.
isn't space for it to look different for everybody, right? We have this
Yeah.
consistent formulaic approach to maintain the system.
And do you, so for your, and this is a service then that's not within the legal system, which I think is so comfortable then for, it is, or it's not, right?
No, this
You're
isn't
saying
legal
no,
practice. Nope.
which is so much, I think, more comfortable than immediate, like, because we, I also was reading this book the other day that like we all interact with the court system like once
Mm-hmm.
every 3 years or something. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's
Mm-hmm.
some crazy number. Like the extent to which Americans are like a part of the judicial system.
It's our parent.
Yes, it's fucking crazy. And
Mm-hmm.
I guess I had never really made that connection that like whether we like it or not, like we all just are constantly within the courts.
Yeah.
And so, and specifically for like people of color, that is a
Mm-hmm.
triggering fucking experience.
Yeah.
And so I think it's really cool that this is some sort of new, not new, maybe it is new, I don't know, but like a different sort of resource that parents can go to and be like, I want to have the best interest for our child, but like I don't want to do all that.
Exactly.
I don't want to do all that, you
No,
know.
and I like there's also this looming feeling of I'm going to get in trouble that impacts
Yes.
my ability to actually parent in the way that I want to, right? So
Yes.
there's this disruption to the autonomy that I feel like that impacts family dynamics. Okay, so we're going all the way back to the beginning of what Shakara's
Yeah.
beep is, right? What's the question?
Yeah.
Why? What is happening in these family systems? And so for
Correct.
me, it's the full circle. Now there are some cons to co-parenting support.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have that legal back, right? So
Right.
you can take somebody to court because they violated that order. And
Mm-hmm.
there's a consequence for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You violate the order because you're coming to co-parenting support. There are natural consequences that may
Right.
be, in play, but
Right.
there isn't this enforcement that I think people take comfort in also,
Yes. Yes.
because it
We are
hasn't
very
been well
comfortable
dealing with
now.
this person on my own.
Yeah.
If we were successful, and
We would have been done it by now.
I won't be here to see you.
Right.
Point blank
Which is
period.
like, I don't know. There's some dissonance with that too. Like some non self self stuff going on there. But
Exactly. And so in co-parenting support, we will work through those dynamics. It's a
Yeah.
slower process,
Right.
but those are the
Yeah.
things that get in the way.
Right. And like if you're just being a lawyer about it, you don't care about those fucking
And
dynamics. So let's just be
I'm going to
realistic.
tell
Like,
you that nobody
yeah.
else cares about that either.
Correct. Like I remember this is, whatever. But one time my dad had like a meltdown during one of their divorce things, and my mom's lawyer looked at my mom and was like, the fuck is going on right now? Like she was like,
Oh my
like
gosh.
so
Yeah.
it's like
Mhm.
lawyers don't, they're like,
They don't do
that's
emotion.
unacceptable.
Yeah.
That that's not my business.
Mm-mm.
Get that the fuck out of here. None of
And
that
they're going
flies
to
here.
advise you, right? Don't
Yeah.
cry. Don't,
Yeah.
like, I understand this is going to be emotional for you. They'll be
Yeah.
empathetic
Yes.
to acknowledge your
Yes.
feelings. However,
Right.
they are not welcome here, right?
Right. We are talking, and that's like, as I now have been watching like courts, like cases go through court systems, both civil and criminal, like
Mhm.
having to train my brain, even as I've gotten further in activism, to not to take the emotion out of it has been so
Yes.
hard.
Yes.
Because as that's your whole job as an activist, as like a social, like your whole job is to be that. And so when you go into that courtroom, you have to turn that off.
Yeah.
And that's something I struggle so much with even still. Obviously,
Same.
like I'm new with it, but like I
Same.
think it's a both a pro and con of the legal system.
Yeah.
Like that's the double-edged sword of it.
Yeah, and to think that the legal system is one of the oldest systems, right? So of course it would be reflective of our
Yeah.
foundation as a country, you
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
So even if we kind of think about it like that, where it's primarily white men,
Yeah.
right,
Right.
etc., etc. And so just kind of, that's another reason why it was like, there's got to be something else. There has to be a different space. While I was
Mm-hmm.
at Legal Aid, I was working with domestic cases.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how hard it is to be unemotional with a survivor?
Correct. Correct.
And their perpetrator is constantly harassing them every day using the child. But then through narcissistic tendencies, they can show up at court and present themselves in a way that speaks, no, I'm the one in control and they are out of
Correct.
control, or I'm stable, they're unstable. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
just was like, there has to be a different way.
And like unfortunately, likely because like that judge or is likely looks just like him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like it's not even, it might be explicit honestly, but like uh, you even if it was not ill intended, like I don't know, it's such a hard, it's so rigid. I know that
Mm-hmm.
progress takes generations,
Yep.
but it's just um it's hard in the meantime, I guess.
Yeah. And we're
But
still
and like
learning so much, right? Like
yeah,
understanding
yeah,
violence and victimization, right? Like not to just
yes,
kind of harp on the court system, but
no, you
they're
can't.
outdated. You know what I mean? Like
Yes,
trying to, and that was one of my struggles, was that I needed to hide certain parts of my knowledge that I had as a social worker, right?
Yeah.
I could try to fit it in my draft,
Yeah.
but
They
it
don't
might be a
care.
little bit too
Yeah.
much at the
They
end
don't
of the
care.
right. And
Yeah.
it was so frustrating. It was so frustrating
Yes.
because
I agree.
how do I wholeheartedly and authentically advocate for what I know to be true? How do I speak to the perpetuation of violence, right? How do I explain that those kids aren't actually safe, right?
Correct. And like they're telling me that as children, they're telling me
And
that.
not make it a whole PowerPoint presentation or a lecture,
Right.
because
Right.
you don't have time for that, right? As judges, you don't have
Right.
time for that. Like, I don't have time to um address all the myths or the biases, or you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
and that's what is needed in that space.
Well, yeah. I mean, God, they could all go through some. As an R, to bring it back to college, as an RA, we go through like 2.5 weeks of like, and I don't even know if two and a half weeks is like obviously enough, but they make an effort of, hey, you're going to be faced with all sorts of people in this new space there but this is going to be their home, so you have to
Mm-hmm.
make it feel like their home, like we go through all sorts of bias training, all sorts of that sort of stuff, and that's like a continual thing that we do throughout the school year.
Absolutely.
And that is a expectation, a requirement, and something that's mandatory for, like, I was 19 years old.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's not like a requirement, a
It is.
mandatory. Is it
It
for
is.
judges? Okay.
Yeah. And
And like,
they're doing the things, right? But
yes, yes.
it's it's not
Well,
about taking a class or doing a
no, it's
course.
not.
It's
You're
about
totally right.
changing your inner dialogue. It's about, you know,
Yes.
being uncomfortable sitting in difference, recognizing it's internal work that you do that happens all the time, and the way that the system is set up for them, they don't have time to do that, right? Like, you got
Correct.
18 hearings, 20 minutes
Yes.
apiece. What are we talking about today? Let's get through it. So
Right.
I'm not necessarily beating them down because they do what they
No.
can.
Of
But
course.
again, there's gaps and it's
Yes.
insufficient.
Well, yeah,
And
and
it
I
hasn't been representative. We're better now, right? We have judges of
yes.
color, we have female judges. It hasn't always been representative, which means that the diversity hasn't been able to impact the thinking.
Yeah. Well, yes, and that's the weird thing is we're talking about diversity, equity, inclusion,
Mm-hmm.
and like cutbacks and like that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird because like diversity, equity, inclusion is like a first step in like a much larger process that needs to happen.
Absolutely.
And so the fact that like we're seeing obviously you're going to see pushback at the first stages of any sort of shift in relationship dynamic,
Mm-hmm.
regardless, like, and if truly you look at the United States as like a relationship dynamic, because that's
Pushback.
sort of what it is,
Mm-hmm.
because it is just like a relationship dynamic between like the rural, not
Yep.
like,
The fight of the people.
yeah, but like different kinds of people.
Yes.
And so as we move towards this new relationship dynamic, I do feel like of course we're going to get pushback, but until we see each other as like equal, like, I don't know, as, hey, they should not only have a spot at the table, but like maybe we should have more than one.
Yes.
You know
And
what
they
I
should
mean?
have
And
different
they
chairs at the
and it
tables.
correct, and like, um it shouldn't just be, I don't know, like every like engineering firm I've worked for, every whatever, the person of color in the room, the girl in the room, the whoever is the other in the room,
Mm-hmm.
almost never speaks in the room,
Mm-mm.
almost never has any sort of like feels like they can give any sort of real representation in the room, despite
Yeah.
the fact that they give a new perspective.
Yeah.
you know and it does take somebody, actively being like going out of their way to ask for their opinion.
Yeah.
And if nobody in the room is conscious enough to be like, maybe I should ask for the opinion, then that opinion's just lost
Yep.
there,
Yep.
you know? So like I guess the first for like my, not to like, be like dear white people while I'm talking to you, but like just like the of be a welcoming space in the just like
Yeah.
and not but like I'm talking over you right now, but like don't over talk in the space. Be like, welcome, you can have the space and then take a step back if you need to, like
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just like it's a hard thing to figure out like at least on our like this side of it of being I don't know, an ally to the space and then
Mhm.
making sure to know when to take your step back afterwards, I guess, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because it's a matter of self-preservation, it's a matter of
Yeah.
wisdom, it's a matter of intent over impact, right? Like how what is this actually going to do, right? If I take this moment right here, right? There's a lot of different things that contribute to why we show up the way we show up in spaces.
Yeah.
And I think that's why sometimes it's easier just to create an alternative instead of
Yes.
changing
Trying to change
or
the
trying
space.
to right
Yeah.
force the system
Yes.
itself to change,
Yeah.
because you have to go through so many different things.
It's so, yes, because yeah, and anyone who is curious about the new space is more than welcome to be a part of both, bro.
Yeah.
Like I have no like anyone's welcome, anybody,
Listen, I am not
you
partial
know,
to people's drama. Like, I'm not gonna
right.
fight you for this. Come on. Like, I want the
Yeah.
best for them.
Yes.
If they choose it, let's support each other
Mhm.
in it. I don't know.
Okay. Wait, I'm looking back at my notes now. Okay, you're a professor now. Do
Ain't
you
that crazy? Like, what?
tell me about
That's too
that?
bright. I don't like
Okay.
it. It's too bright. Was it too bright for you?
I like this probably better
All right.
because I see you better.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
See me.
yeah, yeah.
What did you ask me?
I know. I asked you. Oh, you're a professor. You're a
Yeah.
professor at Western. Do
Crazy.
you what? Yeah. How'd that come about? What? How did you just apply? So it's like, did you get recommended? How did that all
Yeah.
transpire? That's so
Yeah.
cool.
So I used to like hang out with the dean. So I maintain relationships. I'm definitely just a relationship
Yeah.
person. And so I stay connected with some folks in the School of Social Work, the dean and the director at the time. And we went and had coffee a couple times and we met and just kind of,
Cute.
chopped it
Yeah.
up. And then the a different dean reached out to me via email and said, "Hey, I think you'd be a really good fit and that it would benefit for you to teach the students." Like kind of just
Yeah.
like pouring
I
into me in
agree.
terms of like how inspiring it could be for a new energy or space to come into Western, and asked me if I was interested in teaching, and literally just had me send my curriculum vitae over, and I started. Like it wasn't a process or nothing.
That's so
So
cool.
it's
I'm
been
proud of
really
you.
crazy.
That is so
I'm like,
exciting.
oh my gosh, they think I'm their age. It's like crazy.
Well, you are. Yeah, stop it. You get down with us. Stop
I'm
it.
like, hold
Not
on,
us. I'm not
hold
18 anymore
on. You're
either.
not
I won't
18
send you to me now.
anymore. Yes. Us is new.
Correct.
I'm like,
Oh my
intro,
gosh.
I'm old enough to be your mom, so don't play. I got a
Right.
kid in college.
Okay, well that's the last thing I sort of want to talk about is I want to give you a platform to, talk about your kids, how it's all been, how they've been, that sort of thing.
I love my kids. They're
Yeah.
amazing. So Nevaeh's at Olivet. She
Nice.
is there on a track scholarship actually, which is kind of weird because she didn't start running track until her sophomore year.
Yeah.
Never expressed an interest. And track was my love. I loved it. I love
That's so
track.
cool.
I ran
I love
track in middle
that.
school, got a scholarship to run at Central, all the things. And so it's really amazing. But all throughout her life, she's a dancer. She loved to cheer, and gymnastics. And so that's kind of what she did. And then lo and behold, track was the thing that we go out with. It's really
So
amazing.
proud.
I
That's so
know.
exciting.
Crazy to be a parent of a adult. So that's
Yeah.
a whole crazy dynamic. But
Has that started to shift already?
as soon as
As
like
soon as.
it was 30 days before graduation. Here we go.
Well, and for me, not to, for me, I felt my mom sort of pull away from me. It was like sort of
Hmm.
it was a both sort of. And
Yeah.
that sort of hurt my feelings too. So I don't
Aw.
know. I hope y'all come, I'm sure it's all fine,
We
but
working on it,
it's hard.
child. It's
Yeah.
hard.
Well, I was like that time period was sort of hard for my mom and I,
Yeah.
cuz like my mom was one of my best friends during that time period,
Yep.
and I was not going to see her every day anymore.
Yep.
That's very hard for both parties.
Yes. Very hard. Very
Yeah,
hard.
yeah,
So we're doing the best that I can. I think that I've raised very independent children, and
of
so
course,
there's
that makes sense to
also
me.
this pull that Nevaeh has where she doesn't even recognize. I actually had this conversation with her last week, and I was like, I feel like I'm just trying to figure out how to be your mom right now. Like, I don't know how to fill this role. Like, I don't know what you need because you're so independent, right? Like, you're taking
Yeah,
care of all your things. And I'm so proud of you, right? Like, I'm not worried or any of those things. I'm proud of that, but also it grieves, right? A
yeah,
part of the way that we would connect, right? Because
yeah.
you would need me and I would be there with you and we would share that moment, blah, 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 blah.
Hmm.
As best friends, I think me and my daughter are super, super close. We're very
Yeah,
similar. Our
yeah.
birthdays are like 4 days apart.
Oh my gosh.
And so there's also that. It's like,
Yeah,
but
y'all are
honoring her
twins.
space, right? That she's
Mhm.
got it and she's okay. And if she needs me, I'm here. And I need to
Right,
figure out what to do with myself
right.
because that's not her responsibility.
Correct, correct. I know. That's another hard thing too of like, well, who am I outside of a mom? Well, and I think that especially with being a mom, you are so trained to think that that should be your whole identity.
For sure.
And I fall in that. I like for such a long time I thought that's the way that you should be like that not only is that like the expectation, but that's the truth. Like
Yeah. No, that's how this works. Like,
yeah,
what do
like
you
that's how you
mean?
be a
That's how
good
you
parent.
do it.
Like
You
um
are failing if you ain't doing it
yeah,
like this.
I know. Like, and as I've gotten older, and like my friends are moms and stuff, I'm like, I
Yeah.
would never expect her to feel like that. But
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
that part has like the growing up of it all has been really helpful
Yeah.
too. Of like, oh, that's a human being. And I thought she was a loser if she didn't want to hang out with her kid when I
Mhm.
was a younger. I thought
Mhm.
she was lazy.
Mhm. Yeah.
No, she wanted me to get the fuck on. She wanted to be a human being for 5 minutes,
Can I actually, if you don't mind?
But yeah. So yeah, I gotta. It's hard. It's a hard transition.
It is. It's so hard. It's so hard. But I think that it's necessary, right?
Yeah,
To
it's the
kind
next
of
stage.
explore those spaces and those perspectives that you've created about a person, right? Because
Yes.
when you're a kid, you see people in your life a certain way, right?
Yeah.
And then when you're older in a different setting, you're able to see them differently. And so
Yeah.
that's one of the things that I appreciate about the relationship with me and my daughter. I feel like at this stage she can handle the truth, right? Like
Yes.
as a mom, I don't need to protect you so much from maybe my vulnerability or
Right.
to protect you from the knowledge of understanding my past experiences or my trauma or whatever, right? Like you've grown and developed and
Yeah.
created, and you can handle this capacity,
Yeah.
and then
We're
that
closer
helps
to
to
equals
unlock that
now.
door for her to see her mom as a
Yeah.
person who had similar experiences as her.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is that, and that's the hard thing too, is like sometimes the resentment or whatever you feel towards each other is like sort of because of your similar experiences.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
you're like, oh my God, if we could just like,
Because
we
I
would
don't want
totally,
to be like you. Like,
we
I'm
would
not
totally,
you.
yeah, we would totally bond over this thing if like we didn't have it in common, or like I
So you
resent
want to
my
go get
mom
ice
too.
cream or what? Like, what we doing?
I resent my mom too. Let's go talk about it. Like,
It sucks, actually.
yeah,
You know?
let's go talk.
Yes.
Yeah,
And then do you
I
want ice
know.
cream? Like, what's up? Like,
Yeah,
experience is everybody has experiences, you know what I
yeah,
mean? And life doesn't discriminate. Like, it's happening to
yeah,
all of us.
yeah.
Like, let's do this.
Correct. I
So,
know.
and then Aiden, he's 13, middle school.
Mm, very sweet.
It's different. I
That's a
feel
rough
like
age.
I'm a boy
That's
mom
hard.
now.
That's well, yeah.
Like, what's up? I need to go box. Like, I need to get in shape for something. Like
Me. Ugh. Oh my God.
something.
Boy, mom.
It's
Boy,
different.
mom. Yeah. Ugh.
But he's such a mama's
I'm thinking
boy.
of sweaty socks. I'm not thinking of any of that
Everywhere.
good shit.
Everywhere.
Boy, mom.
Stank. Just, are you
Stuck in
sure?
basketball. That's crazy.
What do you have in your bag? Like, it's something in this
Right.
bag that's.
At least 12 water bottles for sure.
Have you
Mm.
looked under your bed today?
How does that? So, how are you? I know I'm sorry, I keep talking, but are you? What new hobbies are you figuring out? You know,
Man.
what's your? How have you been figuring out who you are now? Not almost empty nester. He's 13.
Cause
You still have 5 more years.
not really. Cause I'm
Yeah.
leaving and I'll be back.
I'll pick him up in a couple years.
Call me if you need
No.
something. It's food in the
Yeah.
refrigerator. No babysitters. It's crazy.
I know. I know. Like, because I think that's another, I like post mom. That's a big fear. That's a big,
Mm-hmm.
like, what, how have you started to cope or like figure that out?
Honestly, again, I'm gonna go back to therapy. Like, I love my therapist.
Mm,
And so she really helped navigate me through grief because I
yeah.
needed to grieve,
Yeah.
right? The role that I was playing and all that time and what that meant for me, right? How I got
Yeah.
my affirmation from being a mom and
Your worth.
da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
I had to grieve all those things, and then I had to figure out how to redefine that. And what was I gonna replace it with,
Yeah.
right? Because if my daughter doesn't get up to go to class,
Right.
and then I don't find out that she flunks out of a class until after the semester,
Right.
what am I gonna
Oh
do
my
about
God.
it?
Yeah.
I don't have any control over that, right? I had to
Yeah.
grieve the loss of
Loss of,
control,
yeah.
right? Like, I'm
I think
not,
that's something people avoid. Like, really
you got to
don't
give that
grieve.
up.
Yes, yes. I think, and I think maybe that's a hard one to. I think maybe that's something that people don't even think that they need to grieve.
Yeah.
They don't even understand that that's like that is a loss that you're taking
Yeah.
when your child becomes an adult. Like,
Yep.
you don't have autonomy over them anymore.
No.
And like, likely you didn't before that. You just didn't know.
They were doing what they needed to do to stay in the house.
Yeah.
You know what I
Right.
mean? To be obedient or whatever. No, absolutely. And I don't know that I would have known to grieve that had I not been in
Been in
therapy,
therapy.
right?
Right.
Just what's at play here?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you think you could control her thoughts? There's this
Right.
one day where she asked me this question. It said, she was like, so what do you want like from her right now? Like, what are you expecting?
Yeah.
Right. And I answered and I said all the things. And then she said, okay, so what if you don't get none of that?
Right.
And just sat back in her seat and looked at me.
He said, "Oh,
And I was like,
actually, I hadn't considered that.
what do you mean? What if I
It's
don't
gonna
get it?
happen."
Then I guess, and I had to muddle through
Mhm.
option B, C, D, right?
Right.
Because what if she decides that she doesn't want it? Like, she thinks her own things,
Yeah.
right?
She's
She
not
comes to her own
institutionalistic.
terms.
Yeah.
She is her own person and she is making her decisions based on what she knows to be true.
Yep.
So I did that. And then now it's trusting in how I've parented her so far.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
like you have to trust that you showed her that or you taught her
Yeah.
that. And if you can't trust that you taught her that or showed her that, then you don't need to be helicoptering. You need to model that. Like, why didn't you what
Then you need to teach. Yeah.
show her that, teach her that.
Yeah.
And
It's
so
not too late. Well, and it might,
mm-mm.
so like the T is it might be. It might be. But like you won't know unless you like bring it up.
Yeah.
Or like or something. Like, hey, you act this like I don't know, something that I wish was a little bit easier. And obviously like it's hard. We're talking about it because we don't have emotions in it right now. Like we don't have our parent dynamics or whatever.
Yeah.
But like of like you act this certain way, and like that's not in line with the way that I think that I thought
You were
that
supposed to.
your
Yeah.
moral compass lies.
Yeah.
What's that about?
Yeah.
And like because likely I might even agree. Yeah, like as a child, you know what I mean? Like
Uh-huh.
I might not have even understood that I was a coming cross. Like you know what I mean?
Yes.
But like if I'm hearing it in like a way that's like judgmental or
Critical.
whatever, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna receive that.
Like, what are you talking about?
Right. And I'm gonna do it more now because I'm pissed off that you brought it up.
Because now I want you to actually feel it when I'm doing it
Right.
or whatever. I had that's I'm learning that now. Like
Yeah.
being kind of logical and again addressing more of my childhood trauma, my inner
Yeah.
dialogue, the way that I talk, how direct I am. I had to
Mm-hmm.
realize how critical that may come off, right?
Yes.
And how that plays a role into some of the beliefs that Nevaeh carries, right? Even
Mm-hmm.
if I taught her something else,
Yeah.
that is not her primary belief. And this is why. And so
Mm-hmm.
it's sitting with that because we all go through life
Yeah.
and there's
Yeah.
value in learning life for yourself, right?
Correct.
It's a
Correct.
personal experience. And so it's also like allowing her to live and experience life. As she's growing up, I want to control the places that you are, the schools that you go to, the path, right? To put you in the right spaces to
For sure.
get what I know you need.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, you're driving now.
Yeah.
I'm in the
Yeah.
passenger seat and you tell me where we going or you don't.
Right.
It ain't no navigation.
Yeah.
Cause she don't even know where she going half the time.
Right. Right.
But you invite me to be in the car
Yeah.
and I'm cool.
I yeah, I'm happy to be there.
Mhm,
Oh,
mhm,
very sweet.
mhm,
Love.
mhm.
Oh.
I love
Thank
my
you for
babies.
coming on.
I appreciate the
It
invitation.
was so
This
fun.
is so much fun.
Do you have anything for me? Do you have anything else you want to promote? What's the tea? How are you?
I don't got nothing. Just
I'm so
follow
grateful.
the
Thank
handles if
you.
you find them. Becoming Balance
Mm-hmm.
LLC is everywhere. Literally Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We have a website. You can find me on LinkedIn if you're in need of services. Um, my practice area covers the whole state of Michigan. And so,
Woo!
although I am in Kalamazoo, Michigan, I can provide virtual services across the state of Michigan. So, if you're looking for services and you'd like to get connected, please do.
Yeah. Go to
Um,
therapy.
Go to therapy, like for real.
Yeah. For
Try
real.
it. Come do a
It's
20-minute phone consultation. See if you
yeah,
like it.
and you won't regret it.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
I know. Oh, thank
This
you
was so much
again.
fun. Thank you for inviting me.
Okay. Of course. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Bye.